Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis, server 68, continent 234. We're going to take a look at these all-star breakdowns right now and make some predictions. So we already did continent 1. Let's take a look at continent 4. Let's go through these really quick. Just wow, 14 billion already on continent 4. Just trying to see any of these names. I'm probably not going to be able to recognize too many of them. Hitman, I do recognize, actually. I believe he's in my Discord group or someone else's Discord group that I see him comment on also often. Over here, let's look at some other ones. Okay, so it's just very hard to not go with the Eagles here. 14 billion guy, that's just going to be something special here. Group B, Night Fury. Let's take a look at all of these other players down here. Chevy, is that Chevy who's put in a lot of big bids on the that sub-city that went for 57 million? Looks like I'm going to have to go with, I'm just going to go with the deeper teams here, okay? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go with Mr. Face's team, the Stallions. That's Group C. It's hard for me to actually, I don't recognize too many of the names over here, so I'm just kind of scanning really quickly, because there are some who've already made a name for themselves, but this will be, for the most part, oh, how do you not like the Khan in number 9 here, right? For the most part, this will be most of their first All-Stars here, and their Bijup, I recognize that name, and their chance to put their name out there. And Valkyrie Deb, I feel like I recognize that name as well. So looking at basically all of these, I like to go with the deeper team. So I'm going to go with Eagles here, Metheriel's team. And Group D, so hopefully after, as I was saying, when these guys play again the next time, I'll have a really good idea of who they are. Okay, so number 7, Drizzle, do not recognize that player. Reckless Bob. Stallions, Doom, should be Dr. Doom. That's what I would change that name to. Ghost. There's always a Ghost, eh? And they're always a good player in 7th there. And they're Russian. Aslan, Dr. Tao, and Andronica, K, Turin. Okay, lots of English players here. International team here. I'd like to go with this team just because Ghost, but I do feel like with all these languages, it's going to be a problem for them. So I am going to be going with Eagles again, Reckless Bob's team. Okay, so that is my preview for Continent 4. Next time, you guys will probably be Continent 3, and I'll know you and be able to give it some more thought. So let's go here, Continent 3. Let's look at Group A. Who we got here? I will recognize some of these people. So Vietnam, Illy, 12 billion. Very big player. Over here, Ichiro. I definitely recognize that player as well. That is a top player. So far, I'm with this team just because of Ichiro. And if we look at this, Shit Stain, 6th place. How do you not like that name, eh? This is a tough one not to pick, but maybe he'll be leaving that stain all over the place. People will be wiping him up. Betsy, Bestie, Red Devil, Naomi, Hazel. Okay, looks like, oh, Mufasa, the Lion King. I am going to go with Ichiro's team here, the Stallions. Let's look at Group B. And 483, Bad, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga in 7th place. I do recognize that name. That is a good player. The Stallions. Death Lord. Wow. Just the power discrepancy, eh? King LVT at 12 billion, and these guys don't have anyone even close to that size. And then you look at this team, they have a 10 billion. Always amazes me when these Chinese and Vietnamese players are so big, so fast. And over here, 8 billion, bunch of 7 billions, a very deep team here. So It's hard to overcome that at the start, though. I'm just going to go with this one over here. Baba Yaga's team, King LVT, got to go with the Eagles. Seems like a lot of Eagles are getting the more power in their lineups. So over here, we got Farmer, biggest player on this team. Is not looking good for them. Not in my opinion. And the Stallions, and Prince Henry in 10th place. Glorfindel, Aaron Gobra, Louis, Demon, Regal, Katara, Dow. I recognize Dow, but there's a lot of Dows in this game. So, gonna have to just really go with the power players here. And I'm actually liking... So I got to go with this second place here. Glorfindel, the Stallions. I was just looking for who's the deepest team at the top, and it looks like they are looking very nice. So Group C, looks like I already did them. So Group D, Dadbod. I recognize him. He is in some chat groups I am in, some Discord groups. He's also a veteran of All-Stars. I've seen him a lot. Monarch Goku. I played with a Goku for a long time. Would say one of my mentors, one of the top early game players I've played with. But he did quit before it got to late game. I doubt this is the same player. In fact, I would say it's not. But I like him just because he has the same name. So let's look down here. And Team 2... Don't recognize anyone here. Nobody. Mad Max, though. Good handle. Sardine. Recognize that. And right here in second place, Mio. This is the All-Star champ. Repeating. I know what he's capable of. I have faced his alliance. See if he has any teammates on his team here. I faced his alliance in regular Battlefield. And... wow, did they whoop us. That was before I moved over to Nefarious, and when I was on a different alliance that was similar power to them because they're on Continent 3. And I hadn't been attacked for quite a while at that time. And I just went in and started playing regular, and I was zeroed in about a minute. It was a hit, a solo, and a hit. A hit, then they ground cleared, and then... not ground cleared, but ground cleaned me up, and then another attack. So right here, I'm going with the Bears, and in fact, I just know how good Mio is. I'm picking them to win it all. So that is my pick. They don't have one of those 12 or 15 billion players, but I'm going with that team to win it all. And let me just look here quickly. Just want to see if any of his teammates are... oh, there is one, MILF Shake, but I believe that in 6th, but I believe that is a new name, so it's hard for me to tell who that is. And we'll continue to look, just looking at the top. So there's Sancho, another player for them in 7th place on that team. And then one final group to check out to see. So they have at least 3 players in All-Stars. That's very good, especially for Continent 3 early game. And there's another one, Boosty. That is from his same alliance as well, I'm assuming. Same server. But anyways, that is my pick to win it all. Mio, I'm going to pick him to repeat as the individual champion as well of C3. So I'm picking not only the team and the player. Now, let's go to Continent 2. I will know lots of these names. And Rhythm. He was in on the bidding very, very high for that subsidy. 29 billion. Wow. This is a very serious player. The Stallions. BK the Terrible. Another good player. This is going to be a tough group. This is looking like the group of death if there's one more good team in here. Top Shot. There I go. I talked about him in the previous video. I believe this is the account he will personally play for himself in the first round. And 10th place, Genghis. Cool. How do I not pick this team, eh? So Genghis, I believe this is probably the Genghis I used to play all the time. There was an alliance that was right around this number in servers, and I used to play against them all the time. And he was much bigger than me now. And now it looks like we're exactly the same size. But just because we got merged with Continent 1, I started to never play him again, just the size of the alliances. So if that's the same guy, that's awesome to see him doing well. He was a big player back then too. And Maximus, Daru, Joseph. Okay, so looking at Top Shot's team is good, and he has a Genghis. So that's I'm leaning favoritively over to that, but BK the Terrible and Rhythm, this is a tough choice. I believe these are going to be the top two teams. In fact, looking at these, I wouldn't be surprised if Top Shot played his other account and let someone else play this account. Top Shot has more depth on his team. I'm going to go with Rhythm here. Just a 30 billion player is just so hard to overcome. So I'm going with Eagles to win that, but I think Stallions will be the second place team. And here we have the legend himself, Sir Philip. I believe he's the only player in the game to have a general named after himself, other than me, of course, Genghis Khan, right? And here, Sekfold, who else? William Wallace, very good player. I've played against him a few times in Battlefield. He is definitely the real deal. And not recognizing anyone on this team. Down here, we have Greybeard. That is a great name. That's got to be one of the best names in all of Evony, I would guess. Greybeard. Okay, so it's obviously pretty hard not to go with Sir Philip's team here. Like, let's be serious. So I'm going to go with Sir Philip's team, but I'm going to pick a second place team here. Going with William Wallace. Fighting for freedom. Over here, Group C, King Sing. Probably the best YouTuber out there, I would say, in terms of playing his account. Freedom is also awesome. But King Sing definitely takes the cake. If you want to watch some good PvP, some Battlefields, watch King Sing's YouTube. Group 2, he'll probably be streaming himself playing as well. The Bears, not recognizing anyone here. And on this team, also don't recognize anyone, but we got a Chinese Putin. All right, I think I'm going to have to go with King Sing's team here for sure. Wonder if any of his teammates got on his team here. They did not. And now we'll do Group D, North Start, 20 billion. The size of some of these guys now. Wow. And Stallions, this is one of King Sing's teammates, Glor Findle. I believe he is the one who is famous here for making the clip about... okay, I'll just play it here. I think this is his voice.
Here's the one tap here. Emos, I remember being a shitty keep. Yeah, all the...
Okay, looking at the rest of the players here, and that clip was from a Battlefield with King Sing's team playing against a C1 alliance. Some very funny commentary on there if you want to listen to it. Rittermark, 13, Rally Cap, Darkfire, Soul Girl. Okay, not recognizing too many players here, but I do recognize Glorfindel and Hobbs. I'm going to go with Stallions here. King Sing's team's going to win 2 of them, and they're going to end up facing. They also got the Fuck down there in 11th place. 302, going to assume that's also King Sing's alliance. Okay, so there you have it. Early predictions for All-Stars Continent 2, 3, and 4. Once we get to see how these guys play, we'll be able to make some more accurate predictions and have a little bit of stats to back it up for the semifinals. This is Genghis, Server 68. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.